arming it so we can.
Oh, okay.
You guys
Anybody else?
Weren't you going to keep one for yourself?
Anybody else didn't get a book? What happened?
I gave it to
Okay. All right. I've been teaching for a long time, and I don't say that to brag, but I say that to share some observations through my years of teaching. By the end of the year, maybe 20% of the people in here will remain. And I would be surprised if it's that high. You will inevitably have an invitation or be out of town or something's going to come up, you're going to wake up late, and you will miss that first day of class. And as a student and as a teacher, I'm telling you, when you miss that first day of class, it's all downhill from there. Because as soon as you miss that first day of class, now it becomes something that you've already done and easier to repeat. As opposed to, if I never miss class, then there's not an option of ever missing class. I did not grow up speaking Arabic. Okay, I learned Arabic from zero. When I arrived in Medina, I knew how to read the Quran, but I didn't know anything else. And after 6.5, almost 7 years in Medina, I got to where I am now. Alhamdulillah. But you also have the opportunity to do that. Arabic is something that, believe it or not, Arabic is very, very easy. Okay? It's very, very easy. It's a lot easier than English. And I'm sure a lot of people, English is not your first language. Okay? English is very, very difficult compared to Arabic. The motivation that I had, obviously in Medina, I had to study Arabic because that was the only way I was going to graduate. I didn't really appreciate the Arabic until the very first time I could stand in Salah and understand what was being said. And I think that's everybody's goal, is to be able to, for next Ramadan or the Ramadan after that, to be able to pray behind the Imam and say, I understand what is being said. Because I'm sure it's very difficult for people in here to stand behind the Imam for an hour and a half or 2 hours and have absolutely zero clue of what's being said. Allah Azza wa Jal has brought you here for an opportunity for you to come closer to understanding His book and understand a closer relationship with Him. Are you going to take full advantage of that or not? Like I said, my experience, 80% of you are not going to be here. Just the way that it is. But don't be that 80%. Don't worry about everybody else. Make a promise to yourself that, you know what, I am going to be from that 20%. Have faith in yourself. Buddy up with somebody. Encourage one another. But do yourself the favor of making sure that you don't drop out of this class. I don't get commission per student. Alright? So whether you show up or not, it doesn't make a difference to me. But it's going to make a difference to you. And when you're able to stand next Ramadan, and as the year progresses, you start to understand a little bit more, the investment will start to make sense. But if it doesn't mean that much to you, then in a couple weeks you probably won't be here. And I don't say that to discourage anybody, but I say that to encourage you, to make sure that you are not from that 80%. The odds are stacked against you, but I'm sure that you guys will do your best to persevere, inshallah. Okay? Having said that, the book that we will be using is in front of you, Lqa-101 T1. Luckily for you, that book is in English. When I arrived in Medina, all my books were in Arabic. So kind of took some time to figure them out. What Lqa-101 T1 is going to do is going to teach you very, very basic Arabic grammatical principles in addition to vocabulary. Okay? The vocabulary that you find in the book might not always translate to vocabulary in the Quran. Okay? And we are a people of instant gratification. I think that after a couple weeks of Lqa-101 T1, by October, I should be able to pick up the Mus'haf and understand what I'm reading. It's not going to be the case. Okay? The Arabic language, as my teacher taught me, the Arabic language is like a bunch of grapes. Okay? How do you eat grapes? One at a time. Take it easy. Okay? Nobody puts the whole bunch in their mouth, and that's not how you eat grapes, and that's not how you study Arabic. Arabic is one grape at a time. Okay? And if you have the tenacity to be able to get through the weeks and months of the Arabic language, you will eventually finish that bunch of grapes, and you will eventually have some type of understanding of the Arabic language. Do not rush anything. Nothing in life has ever come that was worthwhile through rushing. Okay? Take it slow. We have a statement in Arabic. It says, "Man ista'jala shay'an qabla awanihi 'uqiba bihirmanihi." Whoever tries to speed something up before its due time, their consequence is that they will be prevented from ever attaining that thing. Don't rush. Take it slow. You are A, learning a new language, and B, you're not a 5-year-old child who's able to pick up a language very quickly. Okay? It's going to take time. Be patient. I, alhamdulillah, was exactly in your place. Okay? I'm not speaking from I learned Arabic as a child and I'm here to teach you how easy it is. Okay? I put in the years, I put in the work, and I'm telling you, I was in your shoes and you can do it. But you have to have faith in yourself. Okay? This is a journey that I promise you will pay dividends. But you have to put in the time. If you don't put in the time, you're not going to see the benefits and the fruits of your labor. Okay? Work hard, show up to class, and I guarantee you will see the fruits of your labor, inshaAllah ta'ala. Okay? Any questions before we begin? Yes, sir.
These books, do we buy them? How does this work?
All that is discussed with the
'Cause
reception.
do we,
I have.
take notes in the books, or do you have to
If
take
it's your
notes?
book, you can write in it however you want.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of payment and all that, Allahu alam. I don't know. All right, you guys ready? Yes.
I don't know, maybe I missed it, but did you say what your name was?
Yes, Jamil. Jamil.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Bisada. Bisada. All right, page 12, chapter 1. Bismillah. All right. Ad-Darsul Awwal. The first lesson. Chapter 1. The word and its classification. Word in Arabic is Kalima. For all the desis, you probably know what kalima is, right? Right? And there's different types of kalimas, correct? Okay. In Arabic, kalima is one word. Okay? Al-kalima. One word. Okay? Aqsam is the plural of qism, which means classifications or departments. Okay? Al-kalimatu wa aqsamuha, words, the word and its classifications. Okay? I like to pick on people to read, and I don't know anybody's names in here. Alhamdulillah. So I will point, and you will gracefully accept, and you will tell me your name, and hopefully in a few months I will have memorized your name. Okay? Let's see. Go ahead from the beginning. Bismillah. What's your name?
Hadi.
Hadi. طيب. Hadi. From the beginning, chapter 1.
The word and its classification.
Sawt and Johari. Loud voice.
The word and its classification.
No.
Any word which has a meaning is termed kalima. Broadly speaking, a kalima falls into three categories.
Okay. Which are? Sorry?
Noun, ism, verb, fi'l, particle,
Harf.
harf.
Alright. Every single word in the Arabic language falls into one of three categories. Every single word. You open the Quran, you open Sahih Bukhari, you open any newspaper, every single word in these texts will fall into one of these three categories. Okay? What are the three categories? Ism, fi'l, harf. In English, noun, verb, and particle. Understood? Alright. What is a noun? If you remember middle school English, you will tell me that a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. Right? Okay. Nouns in Arabic are similar but slightly different. Let's go ahead and read what they are. Abdul Bari?
Noun is the name of a person, place, animal, or thing without reference to any particular time.
Very good. Stop there. This is a noun as defined by the Arabic language. Okay? It is a word that gives you a concept or an idea without any type of reference to time. For example, if I were to say pen, does an image pop into your head? Yes, it does. But do you have a concept of time associated to that pen? Is the pen in the future? Is the pen in the past? Is the pen in the present? There's no reference of time, correct? Pen is a pen. And that's exactly what a noun is in the Arabic language. It will guide you, it will lead you to an idea or a concept or a thing or a person without any type of reference or association to time. Does that make sense? Okay. For example, go ahead.
What the example? Example. Okay.
Ghurfatun. Okay. These are all vocab words. I suggest you start studying them from now. Has anybody familiar with Quizlet? Yes. Okay, very good. I would like one or two people to volunteer to create a master Quizlet list. All your quizzes will come from Quizlet. Okay? Any volunteers? I see people going like this, but I need people going like this.
You have to put the Arabic part in.
We'll put the Arabic and the English, yes.
What is Quizlet?
What is
Quizlet is a app or a website. I don't know if it's a website. It's an app that you plug in vocab words, and essentially it'll create like vocabulary quizzes, either multiple choice, true, false, all that stuff. Yes.
So, is it going to translate the English?
So the way that we'll do it is we'll put the Arabic on there, and then it'll give you multiple choice in English,
Your vocab cards.
like vocab cards. Yeah.
But then on Quizlet, I think they don't include the halakha, it's the zabra, and fish. So then it's like.
Okay. خلاص, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. طيب, examples. غرفة. غرفة is room. Okay? Like a bedroom. Okay? Or a hotel room. Okay? Which is called a غرفة. What else?
طالب.
طالب. طالب is student. Does the name طالب sound familiar? What's that group in Afghanistan and Pakistan called? Taliban. 2 students. Okay? Talib, Taliban. Okay? Next.
فاطمة.
Fatima. Okay? Fatima. Next.
زيد.
Zaydun. Next.
أم.
Imra'atun. Imra'atun. A woman. Next.
رجل.
Rajulun. A man.
طالبة.
And talibatun, a female student. Okay, don't worry about the details. Just focus on the vocabulary for now. Okay. Notice how none of these words have any reference to time. Right? When you hear Fatima, when you hear Zayd, when you hear Talib, when you hear Talibatun, none of these words give you reference to time. That's how you know that they're a noun. Make sense? Alright, let's review. All words in the Arabic language are classified into 4 categories, correct? 3 categories. I'm going to do that a lot, so you need to be awake. Alright? 3 categories. The 3 categories are Ism, Fi'l, and Harf. Alright, nouns are Ism. What is the definition of a noun or an ism?
Person, place,
Person, place, thing, idea, whatever, without reference or okay, good. Next, we'll do it from the ladies. The very beginning. Bismillah. Fi'l.
Verb, fi'l. A doing word, it varies in tenses. They are the past tense, al-fi'l al-mazi,
Mm-hmm.
he went, zahaba. The present tense, al-fi'l al-mudari,
Mm-hmm.
he is going,
Mhm.
yazhabu.
Mm-hmm.
The future tense, you will know soon. For distant future, sawfa ta'lamun.
Mm-hmm.
You will soon know. For near future, sata'lamun.
Very good. Now this is very convoluted. We're going to break it down. Okay? So I know you're like thinking, oh my God, what is all this? Just be patient, all right? So we said nouns give you no reference to time, correct? Correct? Okay. Verbs are going to give you a reference for time. Okay? Verbs are only going to give you 3 references for time. That's it. Okay? English, we have the past perfect and the imperfect and the participles and all. Arabic is very easy. You got 3. Okay? What are the 3? Past, present, future. That's it. Okay? Past tense, okay? Verbs, like nouns, are going to give you an idea or a concept. If I said the word jump, okay? Does a concept or an idea pop into your head? Yes. If I said play or run or drive, you have a concept, an idea in your head. If I were to say drove or jumped or played, not only do you have a concept or reference of an idea, but you also have what? A reference of time. All these actions that I'm describing took place when? In the past. Okay, does that make sense? So verbs, like nouns, are going to give you an information or an idea or a concept in addition to a point or reference in time. Does that make sense? Let's back it up. All words in the Arabic language are divided into 5 categories. 3 categories. What are they? Ism, fi'l, and harf. What is the definition of a noun? Person, place, thing, without reference to time. Examples? Room, talib, student, book, etc. Very good. Verbs, on the other hand, that second category, not only do they give you a reference to some idea or person or thing, but But what? There's a reference to time as well. Okay? Time in Arabic, as far as we're concerned, is how many categories? Three, which are? Past, present, future. That's it. Very easy. Very basic, okay? Don't worry about the Arabic terminology. Al-fi'l al-madi, al-fi'l al-mudari', al-fi'l al-mustaqbal, or al-amr. Don't worry about that, okay? Just know about the concepts and ideas for now. The terminology we will build upon as we go. Understood? Okay. Any questions? Yes?
Is there a typo in Arabic?
Where?
Talking about the
The
film,
third. Both of them.
present and future.
Ah, yes. Very good. So, it's not a typo, to answer your question. The future tense has the ability to be made future. The present tense has the ability to be made future through the addition of that seen and sofa that you see. Okay. I'll get there. Just for the time being, don't worry about it. Okay. All right. What is the past tense? Okay. The past tense, al-fi'l al-madi. If you want to memorize it, that's extra for you. Al-fi'l al-madi, past tense. What is it? Just like the name indicates, it's going to give you a concept or an idea. Play, jump, run, go, write, study, with a reference to time. In this case being obviously the past tense. ذهب is a past tense verb, which means he went. Okay? Alright. Next, al-fi'l al-mudari', the present tense. Okay? Don't worry about how we're formulating the tenses. Again, just conceptualize the classifications. Okay? The present tense, giving you the concept of going again, but this time instead of in the past, it's in the present. Instead of ذهب, it's يذهب. Don't worry about the conjugations. We will get there. The future tense. To make a word in the Arabic language in the future, we have one of two ways of doing that. Again, don't focus on the details now. Just conceptualize. Okay? One of two ways. You take that present tense verb and you add the letter seen before it, or you add the word sofa before it. What's the difference? The letter seen means near future. Sofa adhabu ila al-bayt. I will go to the house, meaning soon. Or sofa adhabu ila Mecca. I will go to Mecca, but in the distant future. Does that make sense? Don't worry about the details, just conceptualize for now. Okay? Let's backtrack one more time. All words in the Arabic language are in how many categories? Three. What are the three categories? Ism, fi'l, and harf. Alright. What is the definition of an ism? Name, place, person, thing without reference to time. Second category is fi'l. A fi'l is similar to a noun in that is similar to a noun in
It gives an image of
gives a concept or an idea, and it's different from a noun in that gives you a reference to time. Does that make sense? Okay. All verbs in the Arabic language are classified into three categories or three references of time, which are past, present, and future. Understood? Easy, right? All right. Let's continue to that third category, particles. Okay, next.
Harf includes a wide variety of Arabic particles. Among them are prepositions, interjections, and conjunctions. Its meaning cannot be fully understood unless it is accompanied by a verb or a noun.
Mumtaz, excellent. All right, so let's break down this because I'm sure a lot of you don't remember 8th grade grammar. All right? Harf includes a wide variety of Arabic particles. What is a particle? We're going to define it at the very end. Okay? Among particles are prepositions. Who can tell me what a preposition is?
Just the relationship between objects.
Good. A preposition is a word that tells you the relationship between two things. Make sense? Okay. What is an interjection? Don't overthink it. A word you use to interject. Okay? And what is a conjunction?
Joining.
Something that joins. For example, and, right? Or then. Make sense? Okay. What is the definition of a particle? It's the following sentence. Its meaning cannot be fully understood unless it is accompanied by a verb or noun. For example, okay? If I walked into the room without any type of context, without saying anything at all, I simply walked to the front of the room and I shouted, "From." Would you have any idea what I'm talking about? None whatsoever. Okay? You will not understand the function of the particle until it's accompanied with other words, either nouns or verbs. Make sense? So if I walked in and I said, "He is from Pakistan or India or whatever," now does the sentence make sense? Now does the word "from" make sense? Yes. Okay? So a particle standing alone does not make any sense. So in Arabic, you will never have a particle standing on its own. Okay? A particle has to be in conjunction or used with other words. Does that make sense? All right. So what is the definition of a particle?
A word that doesn't make sense except if it's
A word that alone does not make sense. It has to be accompanied with nouns or verbs. Make sense? All right. So now we are going to see examples of all three things coming together. Okay? Particles, verbs, and nouns. Okay? Example number 1. Who's next in line? Go ahead. Page 13, top.
Zayd went to the school.
All right. Zayd went to the school. Where is the noun? Zayd. Where is the verb? Went. What is the concept it's giving us? To go. And what is the time? Past tense. Where is the particle? To. Make sense? Okay. And the school is another noun. Very good. All right. Next. I wrote with a pen. I is a noun. Right? It gives you an idea or a concept without a reference for time. Wrote gives you an idea as well as a reference for time, which makes it a makes it a verb. How?
I wrote.
Just wrote. Just wrote.
So yeah, wrote will be verb.
Verb only, right? Okay. And with is a particle. If I shouted with and remain silent, would that make sense? Does it make sense? So you know it's a particle. Okay? And the last thing, a pen. Pen is a noun. It gives you a concept without giving you time. If I shouted pen, would you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you would. This image would pop into your head, correct? So you know what I'm talking about, but you don't have a reference for time. Does that make sense? All right. Let's wrap up. Okay? Next in line from the sisters. Anybody? Second row.
Rule number 1.
Mm-hmm.
A kalima is a meaningful word. It is of 3 kinds:
Okay.
noun, ism, fi'l, and harf.
Very good. All right. All words in the Arabic language are divided into 3 categories. The first one is noun. The second one is verb. The third one is particle. All right. What is a noun? Next.
A noun is a word which indicates a person, place, animal, thing, or a quality without any relation to time.
Very good. That's all we care about. A noun is going to give me an idea without any concept or reference to time. On the other hand, a verb is... Next.
A verb is a word which denotes an
Very good. So the verb, like a noun, is going to give us an idea or a concept, but it's going to add a reference of time. Make sense? All right. And the last thing, go ahead. Particle.
A particle is a word, the meaning of which cannot be understood without an accompanying noun or verb.
Very good. All right. A particle is a word, the meaning of which cannot be understood without an accompanying noun or verb. Is that clear? Is chapter 1 easy? Yes.
So the verb you said is the idea also, but it's actually an action.
An action, right. So an action is a type of idea. Does that make sense? No?
I mean, action.
Action falls under the category of idea. Yeah. Yes.
Talking about the definition of noun and relation with the noun with the time,
Mm-hmm.
is it and the verb? Like my understanding of the verb is that it strictly has to be an action, right? So, for example, if there's something which is related to time, but the time itself, if I say 11 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
it has some relation with the time. Does it mean it's going to be a noun, or like is it strictly something to do with time, or is something that's happening?
So the way that we tell time in Arabic makes it a noun. Yeah. Because there's no action taking place here. Right? So verb is a combination of action and time.
And going back to the example of katabtu bil qalam,
Mm.
so the prefix ba, is that a harf or?
Yes. Yeah. We'll get there. Don't worry, inshallah. But yes. All right. Okay, let me go ahead and give you guys 5 minutes, and then we'll start with chapter 2. So the way that the rest of the book is going to work is that it's going to talk about ism, fi'l, and harf in more detail. Does that make sense? Okay, so the first couple chapters are going to deal specifically with nouns. All their classifications, how do you identify them, what makes a noun, how do you identify it differently from a verb. If you were to see a verb and a noun on a whiteboard, how would you be able to distinguish one from the other just by looking at them? Does that make sense? Why is that important? Because eventually you're going to get to a point where you read without vowels. Quran, you guys are very spoiled with the Quran. It has the vowels. Right? But all our books in Arabic studying and things like that don't have any vowels. That's where the grammar comes into place. You apply the grammar as you read. Sounds difficult, but I promise you it's very, very easy.
When you say vowels, are you talking about like
The fatha, kasra, dhamma, zabr, zer, pesh. Okay? Alright, go ahead and take 5 minutes. We'll resume at 11:55, inshallah. Okay?
Also, I'm just curious, like weekly, do you have to like memorize words and stuff? Or?
Yes, we will get there. Yes.
Is it going to be the classes? Are they going to be like recorded where I can see it at home?
Of course, yeah. We're recording right now.
And how would I get to see it when if I want to study or go back over the lesson or the class?
Yeah.
How would I do that at home?
How can you? Oh, it's they should be able to send out the link. The link is on YouTube. Yeah.
There's a seminary login,
Mm-hmm.
and you just log in and it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, on
All
demand.
the
It's
classes
not
are
live or
accessible.
on demand, so you have a link that you can go into and log in.
What and
No, it's on IOK website, so I can forward that to the teacher.
How many exams are there?
Oh, you're asking about stuff I have no idea yet. That's the plan. Inshallah.
And same with the other class where you
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know about the whole. Probably not the whole book. Probably at least half of it. No.
So the book is 50, and we can just pay it from the front.
Okay.
The book. Yes.
That means what?
So horse is faras.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's Islam.
Both. Yeah.
So it took you like 7 years to learn Arabic, or it took you 7 years to like learn everything?
I would say I didn't feel comfortable until maybe 2.5, 3 years.
And this was like complete immersion in Arabic, basically.
Mm.
I mean, it's kind of, so it'd be kind of inconsiderate to think that in like a year you'd be able to actually.
Well, your goal, I don't think your goal should be speaking. I think your goal is understanding. Right? And understanding can happen a lot sooner than the speaking. Yeah. All right, you guys ready? Okay. Page 14. Here we go. Okay. Page 14. The 3 classifications of a noun. Okay. All right. So now, again, we started. Put this up here. Okay. All right. Remember, we started like this, right? Well, you guys probably can't read that, so let me write it again. We started like this, correct? Yes? And then what did we do? What are they? Okay. And then? And then? Okay. Any questions so far? Pretty straightforward, right? Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to focus on this. Okay? All right. So what does that look like? Okay? Nouns can be classified or identified according to a variety of criteria. What does that mean? Well, we can classify nouns according to definite versus indefinite. We'll talk about what that means. We can classify nouns according to their gender, masculine or feminine, because in Arabic, all nouns possess a gender. Okay? For those of you that speak a second language, you might be familiar with the fact that there are genders in language. In English, we don't have it, right? But in other languages, every noun is either masculine or feminine. Okay? And another way of classifying nouns is according to how many. Is it one? Is it two? Or is it more than three or more? In English, we only have two, right? We have singular and plural. In Arabic, we have the dual as well. Okay, so that's another addition to the way that we count nouns in the Arabic language. We are going to go through all of these in detail. Okay? So the first one on our list is what? Definite and indefinite. Okay? All right. The word for indefinite in Arabic, okay, grammatically speaking, is nakira. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being unimportant and 10 being high priority, memorizing the Arabic words for these terminologies, I would say, is a 5. Okay, so don't put a lot of focus on it. If it happens to stick right away, great. If it doesn't, it will eventually. Okay? But right now, again, what do I want you to focus on? Conceptualization. Okay? Definite in Arabic is called ma'arifa. Okay? What is indefinite? Nakira. And what is definite? Ma'arifa. All right. Now we're going to talk about what each one of these mean and how do we identify them. Okay? All right. Let's start from the top of 15. Go ahead. What's your name?
Taymur.
Taymur? Okay. Bismillah.
The indefinite and indefinite noun.
Okay.
Indefinite noun. An indefinite noun is one that refers to any person, place, or thing and does not denote a particular person, place, or thing.
All right. That is so ambiguous. Let's break it down. Okay? In English, we have the concept of indefinite. Okay? The way that we express indefinite in English is through the word a or n. Okay? A book or an eagle, for example. Okay? What does that mean? Something to be indefinite. What it means is, if I were to ask you, bring me a book, what would you bring me?
Any book.
Any book. Could be fiction, could be nonfiction, could be English, could be Arabic, could be big, could be small, could have pictures, could have not, correct? As long as you fulfill the requirements of something that's probably made of paper, that has a hard cover usually, that's foldable, that's what you bring me, you have fulfilled the requirement, correct? It's indefinite. You have a general concept or idea, but it's not clearly defined. Does that make sense? Okay? So in Arabic, we have that concept as well. The concept of indefinite. So look at the examples here. A horse. When I say a horse, in your head, you're thinking of what? Maybe a brown one, maybe a black one, maybe a white one, maybe a big one, maybe a small one, maybe has a saddle, maybe it doesn't. all of these different manifestations of horse, correct? But all of you are picturing what? An animal with 4 legs and a flat back and a long nose and a mane, correct? Okay, is the concept making sense now? All right. A student. Okay, you're picturing perhaps somebody young or maybe somebody older, maybe carrying books on their way to school or something, right? How tall are they? What age are they? What school are they going to? We don't have that information, right? It's a very general, indefinite understanding. Again, a school, okay? A man can be a tall man, short man, old man, young man, married man, single man. We don't know, right? A city, be large, could be small, American, foreign, we don't know. And the same thing, a book, okay? All of these words in Arabic are considered indefinite. How do we express indefiniteness in English? We said through the use of a or n. What do you notice about these words in Arabic? Look at them. What do they all have in common? Huh? They're nouns, okay. They have vowels at the end, particularly what? These two. You see that? Okay. Our expression of a or n in Arabic is done through vowels, not through the addition of a word. Does that make sense? Okay. Everybody has a smartphone, I hope. And inshallah, everybody has a Quran app on their phone. Correct? All right. Indulge me for a moment and open it. Or you can share with the person next to you. Flip to a random surah on a random page. Don't give me Fatiha. Okay? All right. I want you to look for a word on that page that has these 2 vowels at the end of the word. You will not find 2 vowels together on anywhere but the end of a word. Okay? Give me an example. If you find one, shout it out. Sami'un. Excellent. Sami'un, an indefinite noun. How do you know it's indefinite? It has those 2 signs. Very good. Excellent. What else? Qa'imun. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Wala jannun. Right? Yes. Very good. What else? Iddatun. No, yeah, we'll talk about the fa later. The fa is a particle, actually. Iddatun. Very good. Iddatun. Excellent. What else? Azimun. Excellent. What else?
Hisan.
Huh?
Hisanun.
Hisan?
Hisan.
Hisan.
Hisan. Hisanun.
Okay. Hisan. What else? Ghulamun. Hasirun. Qadirun. You guys get the picture? All right. Anytime you see those 2 vowels together at the end of the word. Now, put on your critical thinking caps. We're going to combine chapter 1 and chapter 2. What very little we've taken of chapter 2, we're going to combine it right now. All right? So bear with me. When I see that, what can I automatically detect and assume? It's a noun. Right? And in addition to being a noun, it's in what state? It's indefinite. Make sense? You see that? Day 1, you're already applying something to the Quran. Right? You don't know what the words mean yet, which is fine. But grammatically, you can already identify it. I can identify it's a noun, and I can identify that it's indefinite. What does it mean? We're going to get there. Okay? Remember, grapes. All right? You're going to hear that word a lot. Grapes. I'm going to keep saying grapes. You know what I'm talking about. All right? I'm not crazy. Good? All right. Now I'm about to blow your mind. Are you ready? You guys ready? All right. Who is the next reader? On the women's side? Go ahead. Bismillah.
Where
Definite noun.
definite noun, al-ma'rifatu. A definite noun is one that denotes a particular person, place, or thing.
All right, very good. So in English, how do we express definiteness? If indefinite is through A and N, we express definiteness through the word the. Right? The book, the student, the school, the city. Correct? If I told you, for example, bring me the book, when I use the word the, there's already a mutual understanding of what? You already know what I'm talking about. Correct? If I said, bring me the student, again, there's already a mutual understanding of what I'm talking about. The city, the person, the man, all of that. As soon as I use the word the, it's implied and understood that you already know what I'm talking about. We have already established a mutual understanding of what's being referred to. Correct? All right. In Arabic, the way that we express definiteness is through the addition of the letters alif and lam at the very beginning of the word. Look at the words in the example. Al-farasu, al-kitabu. You guys see that? Okay. So if definiteness is expressed through these two vowels, okay? Indefiniteness. Definiteness is expressed through what? Alif lam. Correct? All right. Show me some examples. In the Quran. Alhamdu. Right? Alhamdu. What can you automatically assume from alhamdu? It's definite and it's a noun. Correct? What else? Huh? We'll get there. Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahman. What else? Huh? Al-Qari'ah. Al-Muflihun. Al-Hakim. Al-Malu. Al-Qawmu. You guys see? Very easy. MashaAllah. Alright. Let me dive into indefiniteness a little bit more. Alright? Just indulge me for a moment. An-nakira is indefinite, right? Okay. We said the way to identify indefinite nouns is how? Through these two vowels, correct? Okay, I'm going to expand it a little bit more. Don't be afraid, just a little bit, all right? In addition to the double vowel of dhamma, I'm going to also include the double vowel of fatha and the double vowel of kasra. That's it. Okay? What do they mean? What's the difference between dhamma? Don't worry about that. Right? All you're doing now is identifying. Okay? Don't worry about the differences yet. If I see a word that has dual dhamma or dual fatha or dual kasra, dual zabar, zer or pesh, what does that mean to me? It's indefinite. That's all I'm concerned with right now. I'm only in the beginning of chapter 2. I don't know anything else. That's fine. Okay? I see double vowels at the end of a word. I know that it's a noun and I know that it's indefinite. Remember that these dual vowels will not come anywhere except where? At the end of a word. The last letter. Alright? Don't worry about what the difference are between the three. Just know that if they're present, it's indefinite. Does that make sense? You guys with me? Yes? Yes. All right. المعرفة. All right. We said that how are we identifying that a word is definite in the Arabic language? Through the presence of alif lam at the beginning, right? So al kitabu, which means the book. Okay? The book gives you two other words that don't have alif lam. What does that mean? I'm going to tell you right now. Okay? In addition to the presence of alif lam, okay, there are two other ways. One of them is very easy. You'll remember it right off the top. The third one is a little bit more complicated. We'll get to it later down the road. Okay? The second one is something called proper nouns. What is a proper noun in English? A name. Okay? So a name like Khalid, which is in the book. Your own name. Fatima, Maryam, Khadija, Umar, Muhammad. All of those are proper names. Okay? If I were to ask you, have you seen Zain? The assumption is what? You know who he is, and you know who I'm referring to, right? And remember we said, when there's a mutual understanding of what we know, what's being talked about, that automatically makes it what? Definite. Right? So all proper names, from my name to your name, your kids' names, your parents, everybody's name is considered definite by default, even if it doesn't have alif lam. Does that make sense? What do you notice about Khalid? It has double vowels. But wait, I thought double vowels made it what? Indefinite. So we have a conflict here, right? But the fact that it's a proper name will overpower that double vowel. Does that make sense? Yes? All right. And the third and final one, okay. It's, never mind. Khalas, alhamdulillah. They didn't think about the third one. It's only the second one. Karachi. Right? Karachi is a what? It's a city. It's the name of a city, right? And we said all names are there you go. So if I said Los Angeles, you would say that it's definite. It's the name of a city. If I said Muawiyah or Zainab, you would say they are definite. If I said Qalam, that would be indefinite, right? Because it doesn't have what? Alif lam. All I want you to do now is just visualize and recognize. Don't worry about the details of why. Just focus on the what for now. Okay? All right, let's do it this way. Okay. Don't worry about the meaning. Focus on the signs. All right? What do the signs tell you? Definite or indefinite? Definite. Why? Alif lam. Simple enough? Okay. Definite or indefinite? How do you know? Which one is it? It's both, right? Has the alif lam, but it's also what? A name. Make sense? Okay. Definite or indefinite? How do you know? The double vowel, right? That's all that concerns us. Okay? Let's try another one. Definite or indefinite?
Definite.
Definite. Why?
It's name.
It's a name, right? Easy enough? Let's try it again. What do we have?
Definite.
What? But we have double vowel.
Name.
It's a name, and the name will
Overcome.
overcome the double vowel. Make sense? What do we have?
Definite.
That's
Definite or indefinite?
definite.
Definite. How do you know? Alif Lam. Make sense? All right, I'm going to put your reading skills to the test. Definite. What does it say? London. London is a city. Yes? Which makes it proper noun, which is definite, right? Okay. Definite or indefinite?
Definite.
Why? Both. Alif, Lam, and it's the name of a city. Right? Make sense? All right, you guys, mashallah. Very easy. Maybe I should make it more difficult. All right. Who was reading? Okay, this one, go ahead. Examples.
Examples are the horse,
Mm-hmm.
Al-Rasul,
Mm-hmm.
Al-Kitab,
Mm-hmm.
the name of a particular person,
Mhm.
college, and the name of a particular city,
Karachi. Karachi. Come on. All right. Karatishi. Yeah, there's no cha in Arabic, so you always see it as a combination of ta and sheen. Like sandwich. Sandwich. All right, so let's okay. Let's review real quick, all right? Let's start from the very beginning now. You guys ready? Overview. Okay. Sisters in the back. All words in the Arabic language are divided into three categories. What are they? Ism, fi'l, and harf, which are noun, verb, and particle. Good. Nouns can be classified into different classifications and organizations, correct? The first one that we took is definite versus indefinite, correct? Okay. We said indefinite, one way of identifying indefinite is through the presence of double vowels at the end. Either a double dhamma, double fatha, or double kasra. Understood? All right. We said that definite nouns can be identified one of two ways. The first way is through the presence of alif lam, and the second way is if it's a proper name, somebody's name or the name of a city. Does that make sense? You guys with me? All right. Let's continue. Next, go ahead. Generally.
Generally, when translating an indefinite noun, the articles a and, a few, and some are used before the noun. On the other hand, when translating a definite noun, the article the is used before the noun.
Right? We've covered that already, right? That's understood? All right, keep going.
There are many types of definite nouns. Proper nouns, writing,
Mm-hmm.
demonstrative noun, pronoun, ishara,
Mm-hmm.
personal pronoun, ضمير,
Mm-hmm.
relative pronoun, اسم موصول,
Mm-hmm.
and the noun rendered definite by the article alif lam.
Okay. Mu'arrafun bil alif. All right. What do all these mean? Two of them you took, the rest you didn't. I will give you a brief example description just so you can write it down so you're not totally in the dark. But we'll cover them in more detail later. The first one we already did, proper noun. Alam is the Arabic translation. Again, on a scale of 1 to 10, 5 in terms of the level of importance of memorizing these terms. Okay? we said proper nouns. So people's names, names of cities, titles, etc. Okay? Demonstrative pronouns. What are demonstrative pronouns? Words like this and that and those and these. Okay? Those are demonstrative pronouns. Okay? We'll get to the types and the definition, blah, blah, blah. We'll get to that later. Okay? Personal pronouns. Words like you and I and we and they. Okay? Those are all personal pronouns. Relative pronouns. Not cousin and uncle. Okay? But relative pronouns like those that or the ones that. Okay? And the last one is, which we already covered, nouns rendered definite by the article alif lam at the beginning. Yes?
For the demonstrative pronouns, they kind of sound like articles, right? Like you said, words like this and that, like you just said this, right? You don't image, kind of, right?
Yes and no. If you were to ask me a question, for example, like, what did you want me to see? And I said that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Right. It's a more complex answer, but that's in a nutshell. Any questions on that? Yes? No? Clear? Anybody? Huh? Not really?
You're going to go in details later.
Okay, so numbers 2, 3, and 4, don't worry about that right now. Okay? Just focus on 1 and 5. Did you understand alam, the proper noun? People's names, right? Names of cities or names of people. And the last one, any noun that has alif lam. Make sense? All right, what is a noun again? Person, place, thing without concept of time. Okay? All right. And just to reassure you, the book says all these will be discussed in detail later. For the present, 2 will suffice. The 2 that we already discussed. Okay? All right. So it's going to talk about alam. Okay? Names, and the plural, PL is plural. The plural is a'lam. A'lam. Okay? There's a famous book in Arabic written by Al-Imam Al-Dhahabi, which is called Siyar A'lam An-Nubala. Has anybody heard of that book? Anybody heard of that book? I don't know. Siyar A'lam An-Nubala is a book that Imam Al-Dhahabi wrote, which he lists and discusses a brief biography of pretty much every single narrator of hadith ever to exist. It's like 20-something volumes. Alright? So, A'lam from names, people's names. The biography of the names of certain people. Okay? What are examples of these names? Next row of sisters in the back. Okay, Aisha. Not Pakistan. All right, next. Next, go on. Keep going. Khalid, not Khalid. Khalid, okay, and not Masr, but Misr. All right, the Fusha way of pronouncing is Misrun. Okay, Misrun. Misru means Egypt, but when it's indefinite, it means a piece of land. Udkhulu Misran in the Quran. Okay, when Musa tells his people, he's not referring to Egypt, he's referring to a piece of land. Okay, so all of those are examples of what? Proper nouns. They're either the name of a person or the name of a city. Okay? Or a place. The second one. Next.
Is the noun rendered definite by attaching the article alif lam?
All right, very good. So we have our indefinite noun. All we do is we slap on alif lam at the beginning, and voila, it turns into definite. The examples are ar-rasulu, okay? Al-waladu, al-kitabu, al-baytu. Very good. Okay? One thing that you'll notice is that if alif lam is attached to the word, you will never have the dual vowels. It is impossible. Okay? Remember that. If alif lam is attached to the word, you will never have the dual vowels. It's impossible. Why? Dual vowels tell you what? Indefiniteness. Alif lam tells you what? Definiteness. How can you have both at the same time? Doesn't make sense, right? Okay. Go ahead, continue. Yeah, go ahead. The article.
Article alif lam is referred to as definite article since it makes definite the noun to which it is attached. To make an indefinite noun definite, the article alif lam is prefixed to it.
Alright, so let's break that down. Alif lam, okay, makes the noun that was indefinite definite when it's attached. Okay? To make an indefinite noun definite, all you have to do is what? Add alif lam, and then at the end of the word drop the double and just keep one. Does that make sense? Alright. Next person.
After adding alif lam, the noun undergoes two changes.
Very important. Circle this, underline this, star this, highlight this, however you want to do it. Okay?
After adding alif lam, the noun undergoes two changes. Number one, it is no longer used in a general sense. Instead it denotes a particular place or thing.
Very good. Alright, so if I said a book, again, you have no idea what book I'm referring to, right? But if I said the book, automatically what? You have a frame of reference, right? And that's across the board. So anytime I use el, you automatically know what I'm talking about, right? In Surat Muzammil, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first says that Fir'aun lied or disbelieved in Rasulan. He disbelieved in what? He disbelieved in what? A messenger, right? Whenever you see this, your translation is A. Okay? A messenger. In the very next verse, what does he say? Why? Because what was indefinite is now what? Definite. Because now you know who he's talking about. Does that make sense? You guys with me? Okay.
He's referring to himself.
He's referring to Musa. But he's saying first he lied against the messenger, a messenger. Right? So now we have a frame of reference as to who this messenger is, right? A person that came to Fir'aun. So in the next verse, he's referring to him as the messenger. Does that make sense? Okay. What's the second thing?
It loses its narration and only one vowel sound.
Okay. So the double vowels at the end are dropped. Okay. When you have alif lam and only one vowel remains. Very important. You cannot have both at the same time. You cannot have alif lam and tanween, the double vowels. Impossible. Okay? Look at the examples. Okay? Waladun. What is walad? Walad means child. Okay? Can be boy or girl. Okay? Walad is something that was given birth. Boy or girl. Okay? Colloquially, you don't use walad except for boys. But linguistically speaking, walad is anything that was given birth to, boy or girl. Make sense? Alright. When you have the tanween, what does it tell you? A child. But as soon as you put alif lam, it becomes the child. It becomes definite. You have a frame of reference. Okay? Same thing with waladan. Don't worry about the difference. Just focus on that it has tanween, the dual vowels. Soon as you put alif lam, the dual vowel is dropped, only one remains. Same thing with waladin. Okay? A boy or a child. You slap on the alif lam, what happens? The double vowels disappear. Look on the other side now. Rajulun. A man. You put on the alif lam, the double vowel goes away. Rajulan turns to ar-rajula. Rajulin turns to ar-rajuli. All we're doing now is definite versus indefinite. Don't worry about the differences between them. Okay? So the column on the right is all indefinite, and the columns on the left are definite. All right. Next, brother in the brown.
There are certain letters in Arabic before which the lam of alif lam is pronounced. These are known as al-huruf al-qamariyya or the moon letters. For example, Ain, Ain, Ha, Ha, Ji.
Okay.
The lam of the article alif lam is pronounced before words beginning with these letters.
Okay.
For example, al-jidaru, al-babu, al-hukam.
Okay.
On the other hand, there are certain letters before which the lam of alif lam is dropped in pronunciation. These letters are known as al-huruf al-shamsiyya or the sun letters. For example, Sin, Ra, Ta, Ta.
Okay.
Thus, when reading al-raqib, al-tamar, al-tamar, the lam of alif lam is silent.
Okay. What does this mean? This particular section, okay, about sun and moon letters on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very important, I would probably say it's a 3. Okay? So if you want to just put a box around it and like I'll get back to this later type of thing, you will eventually learn it as you go because you'll be accustomed to hearing the words over and over again, so you'll get used to it. But I just want to give you an understanding of what this is saying, okay, before we move on. Letters in the Arabic language are divided into two categories, okay? Lunar letters, al-huruf al-qamariyya, and solar letters, which are al-huruf al-shamsiyya. Why do they call them lunar and solar? I'll show you right now. We have two words. What does the word qamar mean? Moon, right? And shams?
Sun.
Sun. All right. How do you pronounce this first word? Al-qamar. Do you hear the lam when you pronounce it? Al-qamar. You hear it, right? It's present. Okay. What about the next word? How do you pronounce it? Ash-shams. Do you hear the lam?
No.
Do you pronounce the lam?
No.
It's as if it's not there, correct? Okay. All this is saying is that there are certain letters in the Arabic language, okay, that when they are preceded by alif lam, you pronounce the lam. Al-qamar. And there are certain words in the Arabic language, when they are preceded by alif lam, you do not pronounce the lam, but rather you connect the letter to the alif before it directly. Ash-shams. That's all that it's saying. Does it affect grammar at all? Does it change the meaning at all? None. It's just a way of speaking. It's present in the Quran. It doesn't affect your grammar, your understanding in any way, shape, or form. It's just something extra. So that's why I said on a scale of 1 to 10, I would put it as a 3. Okay? Eventually, you will get used to it. You will be familiar with it without having to memorize the letters per se. The way that you'll be able to notice it in the Quran, okay, is very easy. With the lunar letters, you will not see a shadda here. Al-qamar. With the solar letters, you will notice a shadda on the letter. What does the shadda tell you? You're bringing the previous letter and combining it with the letter after it. Okay? Again, this is not super important. All right? If you want to just like make little notes and then forget about it, come back to it later, that's fine. Okay? So I'm going to do 2 or 3 quick examples and then we're going to move on. Okay? Can I change the page? Yes. Okay. So from the lunar letters are ba. I'm just picking random ones, huh? Ghain and mim. Okay. And from the sun letters are dal, sad, and noon. Alright? I'm just picking random ones. Alright. So what's a word that starts with ba is bait. Bait means house. So when I put, and this is only applicable when I have alif lam. Okay, remember, this is only applicable when I have alif lam. So I'm going to write this word with alif lam. Al-bayt, which means what? The house. Okay. Notice, because it's lunar, right? This top section is lunar. Because it's lunar, I pronounce the lam, and there's no shadda on the ba. Al-bayt. Okay. Same thing with ghain. If I were to say al-ghurfa, we covered this word, right? What does it mean? Room. Okay. So there's no shadda, and I pronounce the lam. Al-ghurfa. Okay. Same thing with mim. Al-masjid. There's no shadda on the mim, and I'm pronouncing the lam. Al-masjid. Wadih. Wadih means clear. You're going to hear that word a lot, so just get used to it, okay? Wadih. All right. Now moving to the solar letters. Okay. The first one is dal. I have ad-daru. Did I pronounce the lam? Ad-daru. Lam is gone, correct? Okay. Is there a shadda on the dal? Yes, that's how you know that it's a solar letter. The word ad-dar is another word for house, just like bait. Okay. What about sad? I have as-sirat. Is there a shadda on the sad? Did I pronounce the lam as-sirat? Lam is not pronounced. That's how you know it's a solar letter. Ihdina Huh? Ihdina sirat. Did you pronounce the lam? That's how you know. Okay? Noon. What is sirat, by the way? The path, right? One of the unique things about the word sirat is that it doesn't have a plural, which means there's only one. Noon. An-nawm. Did I pronounce the lam? No, I didn't. It went straight to the noon, and there's a shadda on the noon, so you know that it's what? Solar. An-nawm, the sleep, which everybody wants to do, I'm sure. An-nawm, the sleep. Okay, is the concept of lunar versus solar clear? Any questions on it? Again, it's not super important, but you should have an idea of what it means. Yes?
Going back to like the after adding the alif lam, like the number 2, it says it loses its nunation. What is nunation?
Just the tanween, the double vowel. No. Any other questions? Yes.
Lam itself, is it lunar or solar?
Lam itself is
Lunar or solar? The
solar.
path.
Solar. Al-lahm.
Allah.
Allah. Good? Okay. Rule number 2 now. Who was next in line? Go ahead.
A noun can be classified into definite and indefinite.
Mm-hmm.
Definite
Mm-hmm.
refers to a particular person, place, animal, thing, or
Which again is, we already know, right? Next.
indefinite noun nakira refers to any person, place, animal, thing, or quality.
Right? Without being specific. Right? So both ma'arifa and nakira can refer to the same thing. Bab and bab. Bayt and bayt. Masjid, masjid. The only difference is with al, you know which one I'm talking about, and with the double vowel, you don't. That's it. Okay? And next, rule number 3.
There are many kinds of definite nouns. Some of them are proper noun,
Okay.
demonstrative pronoun,
Mm-hmm.
small
Ism ishara.
personal pronoun, damir,
Uh-huh.
relative pronoun, asam,
Mawsul. Uh-huh.
noun made definite by article,
Mu'arraf billam. Very good. All right, is that clear? Inshallah, everything is fine? Okay. We have exercise 1, exercise 2, and exercise 3. Let's do a very, very quick wrap-up. So this is the end of chapter 2. Let's do a quick wrap-up of chapters 1 and 2 together. Okay? Here we go. All words in the Arabic language are called kalima. Kalima. Word. Is this word up here definite or indefinite? Yeah, salam. Very good. All right. All words in the Arabic language are divided into 3 categories. What are they? Ism, fi'l, and harf. All right. What is an ism? What's the definition? Person, place, thing without? Okay, so thing without time. What is a fi'l? Okay, it is action, idea, whatever, with time. And what is a harf? It's a particle, has absolutely no meaning when it stands alone, and earns or gains its meaning when? When it's used in conjunction with nouns or verbs. Okay, so I'm going to put no meaning alone. All right. Then we went to ism, straight. Okay. And we said that the noun can be classified into different classifications. What were some of them? Okay, definite versus indefinite. What else? Gender and plurality. Right? Which one did we do today? Definite and indefinite. All right. Let's break that up here. Very quickly, how did we say we can identify definite? Definite. Through alif lam plus whatever the word is. What was the other way? Names, right? So this is the first. The second is names. Either names of people or names of places or cities. Very good. Indefinite. How do we identify indefinite? Double vowel. Does it matter which double vowel? No, it doesn't. So if I see this, or this, or this, I know that it's indefinite. Do I know the difference between them? Do I know the difference? I mean, I know the difference. Do you know the difference? No, you don't? Don't worry about that, okay? All we're focusing on, if I see these, I know it's indefinite. If I see this, I know it's definite. If I see a person's name, it's definite. All right? Very good. Can I ever have alif lam, a word, and then at the end double vowel? No, I can't. It's either this or this. They will never be together. Does that make sense? Okay. And we said that letters that have alif lam at the beginning are of two types. Either solar or lunar. We said what the difference is. Again, it's not really important, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. Okay? I want the last few minutes to be for question and answer. Exercises 1, 2, and 3 we will do at the beginning of class next week before we start as a review. And then we will start chapter 3 next week, inshallah. Okay? Any questions? Yes?
Like words, do we have to memorize any words?
There should be a vocab section, isn't there?
I was looking through it, I don't really see.
Let me see here.
Like chapter 3, I see a huge word list.
Yeah, there's a word list on page 25. Huh? So I would suggest starting to try to memorize some of those words. Okay? There's a lot of words, but again, the way that you learn a language is through the vocabulary. Right? What's the first thing that kids learn? Words, right? And then eventually they start stringing the words together, but the first thing is they start pointing in words, right? So that's the first thing that you're going to have to do. Exercises we will do in class. Vocab quizzes. Vocab quizzes. I will give you periodically. Probably not every week, more than likely every other week. Okay? And they will count as part of your grade. Alright? So no surprises with the vocab. Alright? They will come directly from the book, from that word list and from the other word lists that will show up as the book progresses. Okay? Any other questions? Yes?
If you're not really fast when you read, do you think this class is still good for you, or what's your advice?
I think your reading will pick up because the most of the book is in English. Right? I wouldn't worry about the speed or the fluency of the reading just yet. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
The adjectives, do they come under the noun category?
Adjectives come under nouns. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is vocab quiz going to have like spelling and
So vocab quizzes for the time being, I will give you the Arabic and you give me the English. I'll keep it easy for you guys. Anything else? Nothing else? Alrighty, so we will see you all next Saturday at 11 o'clock, insha'Allah ta'ala. As I said in the very beginning, please do your best not to miss class. It is very hard to get in the habit of coming back to class once you've already started missing class. Don't use online as an excuse. Oh, I'll listen from online today. Don't do that to yourself. All right? Trust me, as a student and teacher, you need to come to class. All right? For those of you that have children, what would you tell your child if they told you, I'm going to listen from online today? What would you tell them? You would probably tell them what? Go to school, right? So give yourself the same advice that you would give your children and come to school. Alright, so we'll see everybody next week inshallah. Subhanallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.